King George V was the monarch of England, reigning from 1910 until his death in 1936. Born on June 3, 1865, George V was the second son of Edward VII and Alexandra of Denmark. Initially, George was not expected to ascend to the throne, but after the death of his older brother, Prince Albert Victor, Duke of Clarence, in 1892, George became the heir apparent. Before becoming king, George married Princess Mary of Teck in 1893, who was originally engaged to his late brother. The couple had 6 children, including Edward VIII and George VI, who later became kings. George V ascended to the throne after the death of his father, Edward VII, in 1910. His reign was marked by major events, including World War I, 1914–1918. During the war, to reduce the high anti-German sentiment in England due to the royal family's German origins, their family name was Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, George changed the dynasty's name to Windsor in 1917. King George V is also known for his support of various political reforms, including the expansion of the franchise. In 1918, women were given the right to vote for the first time thanks to the Representation of the People Act 1918, which also expanded voting rights for men. Beyond politics, George V had a strong interest in the Navy. He had served in the Royal Navy and, philately, becoming a prominent stamp collector. He also faced personal and family challenges, including health issues and a monarchical crisis triggered by his son, Edward VIII. George V's health declined in his later years, and he died on January 20, 1936, at Sandringham House, Norfolk. His death marked the end of an era and the beginning of the brief reign of Edward VIII, who later abdicated in the abdication crisis of 1936. After Edward VIII's abdication, the throne was inherited by his brother George VI, father of Queen Elizabeth II. George V is remembered as a stable and dedicated king who led England through some of the most turbulent times of the early 20th century.